Yo, 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 what it do? Welcome to the block. It's your boy 305 Kane in the building.
And it's your boy DJ Reloaded.
DJ Reloaded. Let's talk about this Isaiah Thomas situation. How you feel about it?
um, as far as like what Isaiah did, just approaching someone, having a man-to-man conversation with them about the disrespect that the individual is showing to him. Someone, he shot. He made one out of the two free throws that he shot as he was walking down the court. It wasn't when he was shooting the free throws.
Right.
The fan was hackling him and taunting him. It was after he shot the free throws and he was walking down the court. He noticed a fan with both middle fingers up,
Right.
and the fan repeated at least about three times the F bomb, the B bomb, and Thomas went up and talked to the fan. Just to tell him chill, show some respect. I understand it's an NBA rule, but at some point, people who go into these games, even like with the Russell situation, you're there in a family environment to watch a game. Disrespecting the man, calling him out his name. I don't mind a fan booing the visiting team, chanting, even making jokes about missed shots, calling it a brick. Those are normal taunts that you'll see in a park. But if I was in a park pickup game and someone's calling me, out my name, cursing at me, sticking their middle fingers at me, it's gonna be a problem.
Right.
Before Isaiah Thomas is a basketball player, he's a man first.
Right.
And as a man, you want respect from another man.
That's
And
what he
go ahead.
That's what he said.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I would have probably did the same thing. I mean, if he wouldn't have said anything, I don't think the NBA would have did anything about it.
I think it's two ways he could have handled that situation. I don't think the way he handled the situation was a wrong way of handling it. But I know that from looking at the NBA and the things they have witnessed over time of players going into the stands, okay, I understand where they coming from. I think the suspension is a harsh punishment when he could have got fined a couple $100, got fined, and just to let him know, hey, don't do it no more, because he didn't go and do anything out of line. So that's what should have been took in consideration instead of suspending him. Just basically fine him a couple $100, let him know you can't, smack him on the wrist, can't do this no more, and they did what they had to do. They removed the fans. They suspended the fans for a year. So, I think, and the other way he could have handled it, he could have told somebody to get them removed. He could have told somebody they was doing this and they would have removed them. I'm pretty sure they would have done something.
Well, I mean, my thing is, and I agree, I feel that, but you made the game soft. The NBA is not the same NBA where fans probably got away with that, and players was able to shout back into the what I'm saying, the crowd, however they felt to express themselves back. But the NBA changed gears and it made it more of a soft game. And if they're not going to police their fans, I mean, I suggest you move the fans further away from the players, and that way you don't have to really worry about that, right? I mean, if they're worried about another pacer incident going on. I don't think most of these players. I don't think these players would handle the situation the way that Ron Artest would have. What I'm saying, would have went off, etc. And I'm pretty sure fans cursed at Ron Artest. Is
Right.
when for me, I feel like this here. You can say, a person can say what they want to say to me, but once you put your hands on me, it's my job to make sure you don't ever put your hands on nobody else,
Right.
including me again. So, I mean, the NBA suspended him for 2 games. I think that was a little bit harsh, when it was up to their discretion of how they wanted to punish Isaiah, they
Hmm.
could have just ejected him from that game, send an email to the team, letting them know, hey, it is NBA policy. We understand what happened. Appreciate you conducting yourself as a professional, but you can't go into the stands. So you suspend him for 2 games. You still hitting his pockets. That's
Yeah.
games he's not going to play at. And, they're not going to pay Isaiah for free. And plus, I mean, and Isaiah probably also feels like the NBA, and teams in general has an in for him since his time with the Celtics, and they just didn't give him his max deal.
Right.
So, I mean, I get where you coming from. He could have handled it that way by reporting it, but in the heat of the moment, you can never tell a person how to react when they feel disrespected.
Yeah, that's why I say it's two. It's to me, it was two ways he could handle it, and the way he did it was a great way to handle it. But they viewed that. I don't think they. I just want to say they should have just fined the man. That's it. They shouldn't have suspended him. You still finding him, and you taking him out of the game for
Yeah.
2 games. Now you're hurting the whole team.
Right.
Instead of just him with telling him, hey, and it ain't like he went up there and he smacked somebody or he threw a drink or he threw his Gatorade on him or something like that. He didn't even do nothing. He ain't cursed him out or none of that. He told him to respect me.
Right.
So, I just look at it like, yeah, they got to do better with the way.
And that's all I'm saying. There's nothing to bash the NBA. I don't view the NBA in the same light that I view the NFL.
Mhm.
But like I said again, it's what I'm saying, sit him out for the rest of the game, send an email, call it a day. Period.
There you go.
Then also just looking around, searching around, see that Eddie Murphy taking shots at Bill. Come on, Eddie. I mean, have you looked at that topic? Have you seen?
I did.
I mean, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like Eddie it was just a joke, or do you think it's more personal as far as the situation with him and Bill?
You never can tell when it comes down to Hollywood. That could be personal. It could be a joke. But the way I view it, it's a time and place for joking regardless. So even if it was a joke, is it a good time for him to be joking? You know what I mean? Especially with Bill Cosby, regardless. Regardless of a man's situation, if somebody that I potentially had some type of grievance with time before get locked up, I'm not going to be out here making jokes about them and this, that, and the third. If I know the type of situation, like just if I was put in a situation, but like I said, you never could tell what's behind the scene. Now, when I look at what Eddie Murphy did on SNL, yeah, when he did the little like the what that was, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood,
Yeah, Mr. Robertson.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. When I looked at that whole situation, now I laughed at it too. Okay, now I found it funny in some kind of ways, but it can be a touchy topic, and it could be looked at in a certain kind of way. But if you was to flip that in reverse and look at the Cosby Show, it sort of had the same type of conflicts if you was to dig deep into it. So I don't think I don't think it was a problem for him to make that joke about the whole gentrification and the white people coming in and knocking on his door, and the TV was supposed to be delivered to the lobby. He told him, "Oh, because I'm black, you think I stole it," and then he got the TV sitting right over here. But you got to think about it as a comic. Now, when I look back onto most comics, they make the same type of jokes. you can look back at a lot of great comics and they'll make the same type of jokes about black people. So I don't think you can hold Eddie Murphy too strong on something like that. How
I,
you feel?
I mean, I give everybody, as far as entertainers, room to express themselves, right? But for me, in this climate and this age, I'm kind of over it. Um,
When you over it, what you mean by that?
like the stereotypes, right? I mean, you carry out the same, you carry on the same stereotypes and the behavior that they have painted of black folks for years.
Right.
And it's time to up. Eddie Murphy is funny without telling the same jokes. I saw the skit and I thought it was dry. I
It, it was funny some parts, but it was kind of dry. But I laughed at some of it.
It was dry to me because I felt like I seen it before, right?
Right.
The whole scene when the white people knocking on the door and they asking about, what I'm saying, their mail and the TV, the son knocking on the door and he's leaving out the window. He's reinforcing a behavior that we're trying to undo.
That's a fact.
I don't want to walk down my lovely neighborhood and these white folks look at me like I'm stealing when it's the white, when it's the next door neighbor, the other next door neighbor that's stealing from them, right?
Mhm.
I just think it's a time out that, what I'm saying, that we stop bashing each other and tearing down our own community, right? Gentrification is something for real and it's going on. I've seen it happen in Miami. I'm seeing it happen in Denver.
Right.
I mean, people are being displaced, moved, kicked out of their neighborhoods. Um, to me, it's a time to start rebuilding and working together.
But see,
But
that brings me back to my point is what you saying that's what I'm saying. That if we're going to say that, we got to say that for everybody. We can't just single out Eddie Murphy because if he's doing what majority people do, then we can't just single him out. It got to be everybody. Got to be got to take some blame into it.
I totally agree. But also with this Eddie Murphy and Bill, this is deeper than just a joke.
That's what I think.
This goes back 30 years ago.
That's what I
I do my little research. I do my little research. 30 years ago, Bill, told Eddie that he felt like his jokes was hurting and influencing the black community in a negative way. And he always, from what they say, allegedly, they said that he always used to criticize Eddie Murphy. So I felt like this is
but,
Eddie Murphy took this.
but I heard Bill did that to more than just Eddie Murphy.
That's true too.
So I can't just say it's just he picked on Eddie. He did that to majority of the black comedians that was painting that same picture because Eddie was doing something different that most comedians wasn't doing.
So, but at the end of the day, it was still Eddie Murphy. I personally feel like a little bit he used this opportunity with Bill being down to kick him.
Yeah.
Then some people say, is he justified because of how Bill talked about the black community and how he talked about how we wear our pants sagging and yada 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 in our neighborhoods and a lot of black people turned on Bill with that whole stint and statement that he made. Yeah, he doubled down on it, but I mean, do you think that now with Bill, his whole situation, even the conviction? I know I'm going off topic. The reason why we don't really care about Bill is because of he lost touch with the black community, and we just like we ain't dealing with him no more.
That's a good question.
So he's just a game for everybody.
Yeah, I wondered about that too. I sat back and I said, people will fight for Michael Jackson. People will fight for even some people, the people that fought for R. Kelly the first go round, right?
I'm still fighting for him. Yeah.
Right. But I just feel like nobody put up a big enough fight for Bill. It was like, oh, yep, he did it. He was just like, I guess to the black community, he was Mr. Goody Two Shoes. He was somebody that was always Mr. Right, Mr. Right. Now they got him. Oh, okay, yeah. Look, Mr. Goody Two Shoes ain't too good no more.
Pale Bill.
You feel me? So that's how I view Bill Cosby in this situation. And Eddie, Eddie gonna do what majority of people, like you say, have been going for 30 years. Now you got the opportunity to say something that person don't have no power over things that can happen to you throughout your career. So
I mean, like even like Bill spokesman. Do you think that there's some truth to what Bill spokesman said as far as um Bill is like that Hollywood slave, that coon undertone that he kind of like pretty much was hinting that Eddie Murphy is pretty much a coon to Hollywood, a Hollywood slave. I think that's taking it a little bit too far. I think Eddie gonna do what he want to do, especially at this point in his career. But then again, you never know. Eddie been gone for a minute.
but I feel like if you look at the entertainment business period, who's not a coon?
Um,
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I don't know any of them personally, but I would say Monique. I ride with Monique.
Okay, so Monique wouldn't be a coon now, but back
She's
when Monique was doing her thing, she was doing whatever they told her to do until she realized she didn't want to do it no more. Okay, that's why Monique is getting to the point where she at now. There's very few black entertainers that get to that type of level that wasn't told what to do on their way up there.
well,
Okay,
everybody need help to get up to the top of the mountain, right?
they need help. I'm talking about they had to put in that slave work. You feel me? So I feel like everybody put in that grind. That's what the grind is.
But the grind ain't slave work. I mean, I say like,
It depending on what you call slave work. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but if you doing something that you love and you work hard, like let's take Denzel for example, right? Denzel, he loved acting, right? That brother could bring any character to life. I
right,
don't. I mean, like that's his passion, that's his gift. Just because he may utilize it in a movie that someone may not agree with, I wouldn't consider him as slave work. Plus, I mean, if you're not talking about Training Day, I mean, most Denzel roles have been stand up roles.
right. But okay, when you think about those roles, right? Think about Denzel. Yes, he's talented, right? But on his way up to getting to the point where he can be put in those roles, I'm pretty sure he put in that grind, bro. You had to put in that grind.
So you think that I don't know, man. I can't see Denzel as a shuck and jive type of brother. Did you
But
see? Did you see them tears in glory?
but you got to think about it. You got to think about it. Everybody you see in that movie, not who they are behind that scene. So we could think because of the way Denzel playing his roles that he ain't been shucking and jiving, but they could have casted any black person for those roles.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot about definitely who you know and who you connect with, et cetera, et cetera. And then who your agent is cool with too. So I mean,
It's, and it's that leg work. That's work. Period. I don't consider it slave work. I consider it work. And if you doing the work that gets you there, and I don't think Eddie Murphy did too many things, in my knowledge, that went against the black folks. And as far as like too much of it that everybody else ain't done. So I feel like he ain't out of line. He probably just right in line with everybody damn else. Steve Harvey, Cedric Entertainer, the Kings of Comedy. Look how much they talked about black folks. Steve Harvey had a whole set talking about how black folks late, how we like to listen to this music, how we dislike. You feel me?
Yeah, but Steve Harvey don't count because he wasn't even funny. I mean, you saying Steve wasn't funny. If he's talking keep the comedy, you're not talking about you know, saying my all-time favorite Bernie. You know, like Bernie made everything personally about him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to bash or tear down a community to be funny. You know, you can talk about your own experiences to be funny, right? So I mean, like I said, I'm not bashing Eddie. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not bashing Eddie. I'm not taking up for Bill. I think Bill had his run. He was a king for a moment. He was the face of the black community and black people for a moment. He fell. I think that he's innocent. I'm not shaming none of the victims. But at the end of the day, for me, it's a timeout showing us being deadbeat dads. Timeout from showing us being um thieves and you know, like the reason why he stayed in his neighborhood because he was squatting on a place that no one wanted.
He couldn't afford it.
I mean, so he's portraying us as broke. And there's a lot of successful black people and hardworking black women and men out here in this world that get it out the mud every day.
That's a fact.
And highlight that image of the black family and the black man and woman. And I'm cool with it.
Well, I agree with you with everything you say. Only thing I would like to add to it, instead of just going after Eddie Murphy, let's go after all of them because everybody do it. We all need to glorify us and stop bringing us down, period. And Eddie Murphy, you just one of the people that's doing the same goddamn on thing. So,
Thanks.
with that being said, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, go to YouTube, follow us on the Facebook book group. Shout out to everybody that tunes in. It's your boy 305 Kane signing out.
And it's your boy DJ Reloaded. Peace, family.